Hello?
Hi, Danny.
Hi
This is
there.
Dee.
Hi Dee,
This is
nice to meet
Dee.
you.
I'm joining from Manchester, UK.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have you on the podcast. Did you have a nice day, Dee?
Yes, yes. Fun day today. How
Okay.
was your day?
My day was all right. Not much to do during the weekdays except think about all the things that you need to do on the weekend. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I have a reverse work cycle compared to you. Like you'll work 5 days and then you get 2 days off. I work 2 days and then I get 5 days off. It's a very
5 days
sad
off.
life. It's a very sad life. What do I do with all this time? So yes, that is why I invested in a camera and some equipment, and here we are. So
Yeah.
let's get to it. What would you like to bitch about?
I would like to bitch about the three mistakes that I have made in my 20s.
The three mistakes that you have made in your
Yes,
20s. That's
yes.
nice. I would like to bitch about my mistakes, or as I like to call it, Tuesday. Wasn't there a book, Three Mistakes of My Life?
Yes,
If
Chetan
I'm not
Bhagat, I
mistaken,
think.
Oh my God, Chetan Bhagat. Oh yeah, that was three mistakes of my life. So okay, you want to bitch about three mistakes that you
Of my
made in your
20s.
twenties, because obviously
Yes,
you're a more realistic person. You know you'll make three more mistakes in your
more.
thirties and another
Yes.
three in the forties. So great, three mistakes in your twenties. Awesome. So let's go for it. Yeah. What's the first one?
The first one is, I think, choosing engineering as career option.
Okay,
So,
which is like
yeah,
what, 95% of the student population in India.
yes, yes. And the other 4% are doctors, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so you chose engineering. So how did you make this choice? Like, was it something that you wanted to do, or was it something like your parents said you should do, or you wanted to prove a point? I don't know.
So, that's the thing here. I did not really make a lot of decisions of my life till I was 20. So, this decision
Mm-hmm.
was more of what my parents wanted to do, and also
Right.
a lack of understanding of what other options are there.
Which is quite interesting because as a woman, you would expect Indian parents to push their daughter into a more female oriented field, like maybe medicine. Very like normally it's the boys, right, that get shoved into engineering colleges. But here your parents are very interesting, where they've said no, you will become an engineer, which is cool in a way because they are controlling but also progressive.
Yeah, yeah. In a way, I think it's because of my grandfather. He was a physics professor.
Okay.
And my parents did think of doctor as the first choice for me, but I kind of fainted at the sight of blood, so
Mm-hmm.
that went out the window.
Right. So then they said, okay, you're going to be an engineer, and it was decided.
Yes, that is how it was.
Like, do you sometimes feel a lot of parents are living out their dreams through their children? Like when it comes to stuff like career, or choice of partner, or or where to live, etc., etc. Do you think parents are living vicariously through their children?
Definitely. Indian parents, definitely. And also the way they kind of cover it and wrap it up saying that, okay, we want the best for you. So this is the best that they wanted.
But to be fair, also there is this certain naivety that comes with being a parent, right? Wherein some, like, you genuinely do want the best for them, and you think, okay, fine, so everybody's doing engineering, that's the high-paying job, so that's what our child is going to do. Or is it like a mix of both, where it's like semi-genuine, like they genuinely want what's best for you, but then they're also controlling, and they're like, nah, I also wanted to be an engineer, so I don't know.
Also, I think there is an aspect of in the early 2000s, we did not really have a lot of other options that
At that
Indian
time,
parents felt. Yeah, yeah, Indian
yeah,
parents felt up to the like in terms of society how it would look. So that's
yeah.
another factor.
Yeah, that's true. Like, what did we have at that time? In early 2000s, it was just computers was one thing,
Yeah, yeah.
engineering, medicine, law,
Law. Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody like the vocational arts or the performing arts or any sort of art. Like if you remember college, we used to have the streams, right? Like so we had science,
Yes.
commerce, and
Commerce.
arts,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
always there was this perception or this idea that people who are in the science stream are very smart. People
Yeah.
in commerce are okay, but not as smart as the
Yeah.
people in science, but people
And then,
in arts are losers.
yes.
That was the
And
social hierarchy of college in India in the 2000s, at least for the millennials. I don't
yeah.
know how it is now, but if you were in arts, you were a loser. And
And
if
now
I
they have
and
become,
now yeah, and now when I think back about my own career, and if I were to go back in time and choose a stream
yeah.
that would be more suited to what I'm doing today, I would have definitely chosen arts, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
And
years later, I would be proven to be a loser. So cool. So you got in. So you got into engineering because your parents said you should become an engineer. And then what happened after that? Like
uh, yeah, so and then I changed my career twice after that. Like after engineering, I
so
changed
straight out of
again. And
engineering. So straight out of
yeah.
engineering, did you switch careers or did you work in the engineering field and then switch?
So my engineering was electronics, and I switched
Mm-hmm.
into like coding, data analytics, because that was
Okay.
the thing in early
Mm-hmm.
2010.
Right. Right.
And then again switched to what I'm doing currently, which is uh, I'm a researcher in a development organization.
Okay. So, but this is off
Yeah.
the back of your engineering degree.
No, no, I studied after that. Like recently,
Right.
I did my master's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So why do you regret studying engineering?
I think if I would have studied something else, it would have
Mm-hmm.
made like it would have given my career a better start.
Okay.
But now, it's all good. I don't really have anything against my parents. But at that
Mm-hmm.
time, when I was changing careers, when I was figuring out, I did
Mm-hmm.
have a lot against my parents. I thought that, yeah,
Okay. Wait. So you were genuinely upset with your parents because you
yes,
felt that the struggle that you had in your early 20s was because of them forcing you to do engineering.
yes, yes,
Oh, damn. And now you're in a obviously better place. You're in the UK and you
yeah,
get off at 5, and then you have
yeah,
like what, a half day on Friday,
yeah, yeah,
and then the entire weekend to get smashed
yes.
in a first world country. Not bad. You're doing all right. So you were genuinely upset that your parents choice made you suffer.
Yeah, for the first
Okay.
few years of my 20s.
But if you were to go back and change it, what would you do?
I think now that there are so many avenues of students kind of uh, figuring out things, exploring
Hmm.
different things, getting to know themselves better, at least what they like. If
Yeah.
not finding your passion, I don't know if you can do that when you're a teenager and early
Hmm.
20s, but at least find something you like. I think
So
that
you
is
you
something I would
haven't
have done.
zeroed in. You haven't zeroed in on a particular course or degree yet.
Um, No, I mean, I did my master's. That was in the field that I'm currently working, which is something that I really like.
Yeah. But
But
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. So if not engineering, what would you have done? Right? I'm trying to heal the pain that your
I
parents
think I
supposedly
would have,
caused you. Yeah. So
I
let's
would
go
have
down this
something,
road.
I would have gone into arts, not science at all.
So, all right. So, if you had gotten into arts, do you think you would eventually end up at the job that you're at right now?
I'm not sure, but I think it would have been definitely a different journey than what I had.
So, you still feel you would have arrived to the same place?
Maybe, maybe not. But I think I'm not taking anything away from science and engineering. And obviously girls need to go into STEM, but also to recognize that there are things that certain people might be more suited for.
That's fair. Okay, so I'll take your
Yeah.
point that certain people are suited for very specific things. Like, for example, with
Yeah.
me, I can't imagine doing anything else but stand up
Nine to
now.
five. Yeah.
Like, if comedy shuts down as an industry or people stop coming to my shows, I'll have to kill myself. Like, I will not be able to work anywhere else. That's how obsessed I am with doing this. So, that's a very valid point. But what I'm also trying to get at is that it doesn't matter whatever degree you choose, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't matter whatever degree you
Yeah.
graduate with, doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
the first few years of your life as an adult is going to be a struggle, even if the
Struggle.
degree that you have is one that you wanted. It's not going to be easy. The first 10 years of being independent is hard. You got to figure so many
Yes.
things out, so it's not going to be an easy ride. So what happened with me was I had a degree in computer science. um,
Yeah.
right, then I worked for a bit, then I got an MBA in advertising, and then I worked again for a bit, and then eventually I ended up
Yeah.
doing comedy. Like, the reason why I was able to get to comedy was because every time something did not feel right, I
You.
found something else to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the minute I was done with my first job, like, okay, I don't think this is what I'm meant to be doing. I don't enjoy this as much. And then eventually I said, okay, maybe if I do an MBA, it'll broaden my horizons. And then I did the MBA and I got a job, and then eventually, just so randomly during my MBA, I tried stand up for fun, and then here we are. So I
Yeah.
always feel that eventually you will get to
You'll-
where you're supposed to be, and you can tell if you're
Yeah.
in the right place based on how much peace you have on certain days.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You feel like, aha, I'm
Yeah.
okay. I
Yeah.
think I'm
Yeah.
okay. That feeling of
Yeah.
peace.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes. I
yeah.
definitely know
but
that.
but that comes from my experience by doing things that you do not like. I think it's very
Yeah.
important to do things that you do not like. It's very important to be like, yeah, I don't think um, this particular path was the right one for me.
Yeah.
And
It.
I think some of the best journeys I find are the ones that were not supposed to happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
It's.
you
I.
were you were not supposed to be an engineer. That's the path you took.
Yeah.
But if you like everything you do straight away, straight off the bat, then you don't really know what more could have been, right? Some people are
Yeah.
content with little, or just not trying too hard. And we all know those people, right? they
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't. So, yeah. So
It's.
are you still mad at your parents?
No. No. I mean, I do think that they did want what's the best for me, but yeah, I think I've been on this journey now, so
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always say this, if you're ever feeling like, why did I, do this degree, or why did I join this company and not that company? You all have to start somewhere. All of us start somewhere,
Somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
but try to make sure that that is not the place where you finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think, yeah. But okay, so engineering is something you regret doing.
Yeah.
What's the second one?
So the second mistake is rushing into settling down, getting married at 26,
Ah,
thinking that it's love.
okay. Tell me more.
Yeah. So I think that was the first decision that I made for myself as an adult, and feeling that pressure that,
Ooh,
oh,
damn,
you know,
that's a big one.
yeah,
The first major
yeah,
decision of your life,
yes,
and you'll be like, yeah, let's get married. It looks so nice on Facebook. Why not? Like, just look at
yeah,
that. There's a pre-wedding shoot, there's a wedding shoot, there's a post-wedding shoot, and then we can take those pictures and post one every month for the next 12 months. And then
12
once we
months.
posted the 12th picture, it's happy anniversary again. Yes, let's do that.
Yeah. All my
Right.
friends were getting married at that time,
Mm.
and
Okay.
yeah, that just added that entire peer pressure.
So why do you regret it?
Because I think I saw a few red flags, like we met in May. We were talking. I saw a few red flags, but I ignored
Mm-hmm.
them. I was like, okay, I need to have kids before I'm 30. So
Okay.
this is it for me now. I need to get into this and not look back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you got married because you wanted to have kids.
Yes,
Okay. And
and
did
before
you?
30.
And did
No,
you?
no.
Okay.
That was I
So
think
then what
the
happened? So you got married and then you decided you didn't want to have kids and then you were like, oh fuck, or like what happened?
so got married within like 8 months of knowing each other, which is like
Mm-hmm.
a really short duration. I feel you
Mm-hmm.
can't really know a person.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had COVID, we had a lot of different things in the 3 years that we were together, and it didn't really work out. So we didn't have kids during that time, but I feel
Mm-hmm.
that was a good thing in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
So then, hmm.
yeah.
So then how did you confront that? How did you end it?
That's where I feel like a lot of pressure in society, people have towards getting divorced, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
it's a mistake, right? You need to admit it to yourself and just move past it. Like, would you rather suffer for 3 years or the next 30 years?
Mm-hmm. And like, was it amicable?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So he also realized, oh fuck, like after he was done, he was
yes.
like, oh shit.
We were just too different. I'm like born rebel. He's very conventional. So
Mm-hmm.
it was not going to work out.
Okay. So then is that something that you should regret then? You know how lucky you are? How lucky you are that you get to end a marriage so cleanly. Have you
Uh,
spoken to other divorcees out there, dude?
uh, I do feel that I could have not made the mistake, maybe just dated for a while, got to, really unpack those red flags and just walk away. Uh,
What do
because
you
we,
think?
yeah,
What do you think is the appropriate age to get married?
I don't think there is. I don't think there should be that pressure at all.
You think like just do it whenever you feel you're ready.
Yes, yes.
I feel the legal age for marriage should be raised to 45. Yes, so that
Yeah.
so that when you become an adult and until 45 you can use all that time to understand how income tax works, and then you're
Definitely, that's
ready for marriage.
yeah, you should be able to handle
But
your
I feel
finances,
I
definitely.
also feel there is such a thing as getting married too early. Like I've seen
Yeah,
friends of mine also who've gotten married, like really in their really early 20s, and I've seen the struggle. Some of them are still together, some of them are not.
yeah,
But here's
yeah,
what you have to figure out. Okay, being an adult is hard. There are so many things that you need to do. There's so many things that you need to learn to get right. So first of all, just being independent, right? Then you're getting
yes,
used to having a career. Then you have to navigate the treacherous world of corporate politics to
yeah, yeah,
kind of get
definitely.
to a certain level where you justify all the blood sucking that happens from these corporations, right? So you're learning that. Then you get married. You are learning how to live with somebody, and this person is somebody who could take half your stuff and go away. So you have to be nice to them. It's
Yeah,
and it's so on and so forth. I feel it's a lot of pressure. I feel if you get married early, you're putting a lot of you know
yeah.
stuff on your plate. Too many things.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Plus, it's easy to kind of get into that trap when you see people around you not just getting married, like having kids when they are like 26, 27.
Right.
I have a friend who has a 4-year-old now, so yeah.
So do you still want to have kids?
Eventually, now it's
But now you're not,
eventually.
now you don't feel the need to like, okay, I don't need to fucking do it right away. I'll do it when I want to, right?
Yeah, I mean, I still have my pre-wedding things and all the expenses that I need I had, so I need to build that money again.
Yeah. Oh, you have to recover the money that you spent. So why,
Yeah.
so wherever, like if I like a girl and we're talking, or even when I'm dating and we're talking about marriage, of like, because we talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what kind of marriage do you want to have? So I always say intimate. I want to have an intimate wedding, and the girl I'm talking to, she's like, oh my god, that's so cute, that's so romantic, intimate is so nice, just the friends and family and the people who love you. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, bro, I want to spend as little as possible, you know
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
whenever the divorce happens, the net loss won't be so high,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you can use the money that you've saved to have another intimate wedding. Because let's be honest, the world is so fucked up today. So the dating scene is such a mess that everybody has to have at least 3 shots at marriage, I feel.
Minimum, yes.
Minimum,
To get
right?
it
For
right.
the first two are the regrets, and the third one is you just being like, I don't have the energy to do this again, so this is it. And I think that is the path to true happiness. Like our parents were lucky; they got it right the first time, and they were just like,
Yeah.
no option to leave this person and go anywhere else, only because only one of us is financially independent. So they stuck together, and I'm
They
sure
stuck
they loved each other also. But I think mostly it was
in their own
not
way.
not having the option to leave.
Yeah.
So
I
so so
would put
yeah.
it in their
So
own way.
I would also say that, yeah, I think everybody should have 3 shots at getting married. So you already had your first shot, and you're like,
Yes.
okay, this was the wrong time with the probably the wrong person. We want different things. Boom, you got out. So you have two
Yeah.
more tries. Yeah. So you
Fingers
have,
crossed. Yeah.
yeah. So like your one divorce down, you have another one in the kitty, and the third one you really have to make work. Okay.
They could. Yeah.
Yeah, like just make sure you don't have kids with the second one, because then you'll drag those fuckers to the third one and it gets very complicated, and then you definitely have to
Complicated.
keep
Yeah.
seeing your
Yeah.
ex all the time. It's damn annoying, dude.
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know why I'm bitching like as if I have to deal with this shit. I don't. But
Because
okay,
it's very relatable. It's something that you really feel strongly about.
it is. It's when you watch two people in a marriage, it's the same as watching an accident. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
accident on the street, like a car accident or a
Yeah.
bike accident or
Yeah.
whatever? When you watch it, like half of you is going, "What the fuck is this?" And then the other half
Yeah.
is you going, "This could happen to me."
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's relatable to everybody, because we all know that no matter how much we say, oh, I am a certain kind of person, eventually you will also be a certain other kind of person. So all the
Person.
people saying, I never want to get married, I'm going to be single my whole life, at one point you will want to get married maybe. And the ones who want to get married and be like, yeah, you know I don't want to be single ever again, you will head for divorce. So it's going to happen. Like, I think life has become such a bullshit festival now, is that in a way that everybody gets a slice of the bullshit. You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
escape. It's like
Yeah.
raining bullshit now. It's just there's just too much pressure to live your life a certain way, to have a certain number of followers, to have a certain number of things. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think it just, like what our parents had, that one thing about sending us to the right college, okay, get them an engineering degree or whatever. That whole
Yeah.
thing has become so magnified now. Like every step of the way, you have to fit into some grid.
Yeah.
Like
And
you,
scrutinized.
yeah, like
It's
you
so
did
scrutinized.
engineering. Yeah, you
Yeah.
did engineering because your parents wanted to put you in the grid of, okay, that's the one that'll get you the most success. You decided to get married because you fell into the grid of peer pressure, and okay, you wanted to have a kid and everybody else was having a kid.
Yeah.
And I think, and eventually I like that there are some people who break away from the grid, and they're
Yeah.
just like, you know what, I'm going to do it my way. I don't care when it happens, how it happens, or if it happens. But
Yeah.
yeah, so good. What's your third mistake?
Third is a big one. I think
Ooh,
that's
build the
where
suspense up a little bit now. 1 second, wait. Okay, you started with, okay, engineering. Fine, that's okay. A lot of people get engineering.
yeah,
First marriage, you're like, not working out, 8 months in, let's end it. This is the big one.
yeah. So
Ooh.
not seeking therapy at the right time. And right time for me, I mean
Okay.
It's different. It's different for everybody, but I feel
Mm-hmm.
I should have been in therapy a long time back.
Okay. So when did you start doing therapy?
After the divorce.
After the divorce. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. And when do you think you should have started doing therapy?
Way before, so that I didn't
So
end
that the
up
marriage
marrying.
would never happen.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine telling somebody, I'm ending the relationship because I just realized, I should have started therapy much sooner. That's that's insane. So what did you heal during the therapy? Is it the damage that was caused by the divorce or the damage before the divorce as well?
Everything. The now, like, the anger that I don't have towards my parents, that is a outcome of therapy now. The damage of the divorce. Also, I think it's very different. Like when I saw Deepika Padukone mentioning
Yeah,
um, therapy and mental health for the first time, I didn't really know anything about it. And when you get into it, that's when you actually understand what exactly it is.
it's such a big world now when you
Yeah,
realize how much work needs to be done. I think
yeah,
like I think when most people start therapy in their mid 20s, late 20s, or maybe like early 30s, because that's when you start really feeling the weight of the damage. Like something's wrong, but you don't know why it's wrong. So you're just like, ah,
why?
shit. What do I do? Let's get married and have a kid. Let's see if that fixes it.
Yeah, that's the Indian culture. Any
Yeah.
mistake, one kid. Another, you think there are things wrong, another kid.
Yeah. So do you still go to therapy?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
two
well, that's
years
good.
now.
So what changed you during your therapy sessions where you realize, what, I shouldn't have gotten married this soon?
I think a lot of it stemmed from low self-esteem, people pleasing, which I think I've kind of worked on in the last 2 years. Um, not being scared of being alone, um, or ending up alone. Like, I don't
Right,
really feel that kind of pressure now.
right. So in a way, therapy has made you more whole, because of which you don't feel the need to be married to somebody else or be in a relationship with somebody just because you think you need to be with someone, otherwise you're going to end up alone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, therapy is going to create more, a
More
generation
single
of
people
single people, because everybody is like, dude, I have worked on my issues. I have worked on
issue.
myself. I've transformed. I have unlearned the things I need to unlearn. I've learned the things I've learned, and I'm a complete person now. So fuck everybody. I don't want to get married now. I don't need.
I don't need another person to complete me. I'm whole.
Yeah, but I like that the age of therapy has also like made us realize things that we never paid attention to before, like baggage, like concepts
Yes.
like baggage, like we like only. But I also like kind of figured this out in the last 10 years, maybe, that since day one, we've all been like lugging this bag of uh, trauma around us, right?
Yeah.
And we have no clue. We're carrying it, and then suddenly you get to, your mid 20s or late 20s, and then you start getting these backaches. You're just like, why is
Huh.
my back hurting so much?
Yeah.
And then
Back
you go
and
to
neck.
therapy. Yeah, then you go to therapy, and you're like, oh, it's because I've been lugging this bag of trauma everywhere. Yeah.
And boundaries was also a big one for me, in terms of knowing where my boundaries are, where when I should respect other people's boundaries. Um,
So,
yeah.
do you feel your boundaries were not respected before?
Um, I think because of the people pleasing, I let people walk over me. So
Oh,
in that way, I allowed them to.
And now you're just like, nahi chahiye, aage badho. This house has been fixed. No plumbers needed now. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think that's what happens as you get older. You start giving less of a fuck. Like in your 20s, we've all been there. It starts with the teens, right? Because you go through that awkward phase, and you're just like, I feel very awkward, so I want to fit in, and then it never stops. It seeps right through your 20s. You're trying to please your
Yeah.
bosses, potential partners, your parents, and everybody's expectations. And then when you get to your late 20s, early 30s, you're just like, you know what, fuck it, this is who I am. I don't care anymore. And
Yeah.
that's a transformation uh, all of us eventually end up going through. All of us are like pre giving a fuck, and then post not giving a fuck. Like, all of us
Yeah.
exist somewhere in between. Some people are still giving a fuck, and some people are like, nah, I don't give a fuck anymore. And I think when you stop giving a fuck is when you get filled with peace. Like when you're just like, okay, this is my zen space, and I feel safe.
Yeah. And I think there is also a lot of men who feel that they need to be strong and they don't really seek help.
Yeah.
So all the men don't cry, kind of. So I feel like
Yeah.
that they need to kind of grow up and just accept that there are problems. Everybody
Yeah,
faces.
that is a different podcast episode by itself. Just men not crying enough. Like I think men should cry more. But you know how they say, like, or rather, the focus has been on women. For a while now. The last 10 years, all the conversation around empowerment has been for women, but there is a different world that men live in. Even though we live on the same planet, these the weight of these expectations, the weight of the silence that we need to carry, uh, the way that we need to be to every single person who's associated with us. So there is a lot of weight that comes with that. And
Yeah.
um, you're right, we need to release those pressures also, dude. Like sometimes yeah, sometimes I have these moments, where I'm just like, oh man, how many, it's like, as a guy or as a man, like I feel like I'm always involved in some level of customer service or the other.
Yeah.
Like I'm always trying to please somebody or make sure somebody's taken care of or make sure everything's running smoothly. It's a very different kind of pressure. I don't know if women feel the exact same thing, but uh, it's a kind of pressure that we have to carry in a way that we've also been conditioned for generations to not express or to not
Right.
process.
Yeah.
So our
Yeah.
generation is the first one that's learning all these things, baggage and boundaries and breaking the trauma cycle. Who used to say all
Yeah.
these things? Like, where did you ever hear the word trauma and cycle in the same sentence in our entire lives? So it's all started now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Definitely.
think I think maybe it'll be easier for the next generation after us to be able to cry more easily. I think like 2-3 generations later you'll have boys crying all the time, and then eventually girls will be like, these guys are a bunch of dicks, dude. And just the way you would say somebody is a pussy as a sign of weakness, eventually it will get to a point where people say, that guy's a dick, as a sign of weakness, because men are just crying so much all the time. I think that's the
And
transformation
expressing.
that will happen, over the next few generations. And until we get to that generation where dick is a word used to signify weakness, we will have not completed the video game called
Or maybe
feminism.
just vulnerability, not weakness. Maybe just
Yeah.
vulnerability.
No, but you know what I was getting at, right? Like people always say, "Oh, you're a pussy," like as if to say,
Yeah, yeah,
suggest
yeah.
that, dude, pussies are fucking strong, man. I mean, they can
Yeah.
fucking, they can handle a
Push
lot
a
going,
baby
going in and out, dude.
and
That's
out.
that's yeah, exactly. Like with guys, we only have one-way traffic. We can't handle two-way traffic, most of us at least. But yeah, I on that note, I think this was a very nice discussion. I like how your your mistakes made you who you are today, I think, and I think that is the best version of yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
I do think so. Yeah.
yeah, because uh, you, no matter how much you plan, no matter how much you prepare, no matter how much you want to fit into a certain idea of success, you're always going to fall flat. You're
Yeah,
always going
yeah,
to fuck up somewhere or the other. Yeah, it's all
yeah.
one giant shit show. But in all of that, yeah, I'm not. I think you're doing all right.
Yeah, yeah, this is my idea of success, being single, doing what I like, having a great career.
That's amazing. That's amazing, and I'm glad you're living that life. In
Yeah.
And yeah, on that note, we'll wrap this up. This was a very fun conversation. Uh, Thank you so much for joining me, D, and keep making mistakes so we can chat again sometime soon.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Have a
My
great
pleasure.
day.
Thank you so much for having coming on. Right, take
Yeah.
care. Bye
Bye.
bye.